peak gaming. I'm gonna be honest with
Yes.
y'all.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. God. Seven. So okay, it's the hotness. It's the thing that is blowing up the internet.
Thank God.
Hell,
You know what?
yeah.
Deserved.
Helldivers 2 came out.
Now
This is the
hard.
game that I. This is the game that I saw. I was like, this is the game I'm going to invest in, and I'm going to want to play.
Game of the year 2024.
Hold on now. Me and Joe immediately saw the vision when we saw that trailer, and I'm glad that like Trevor was already on the train. Apparently, there was a Helldivers 1 that no one heard about.
Yeah. But God, like, I am so happy, and also a little bit frustrated, but more happy than anything. This game is blowing up the way it is. This game, by the way, was in development for 7 years. So,
what weird number?
Yeah, weird, huh?
Okay,
man.
Sorry.
Yeah.
If it's been advertised as like a big game, you know, mainstream, like Beyond Good and Evil 2, I have my reservation.
That game is not real. Her ass is not real.
Yeah, not real games. Star Citizen.
Kingdom Hearts 3 came out good, but people weren't ready to accept it yet. But now they get it.
Okay, back to the game.
But anyway, back to the game. Like, okay, so Helldivers 2 is quite literally, ever since me and Willer played Monster Hunter for the first time, is the game I've always wanted. It's a co-op game where you go in, you do a few missions, some side objectives, and you get out, and it's got a concise focus. You have, like, you can drop in and drop out whenever you want. You have a structure to how you progress and what you do, and it's an engaging and fun time. It's like the closest thing I will ever get to a Deathwatch game, which is like a faction of 40k that I don't want to get into.
Please don't.
But like, this game is everything I have wanted from the games industry in terms of a co-op experience in a never, basically. Like, it's just like, this is what I've wanted. I've wanted a, what's the name of the mode in fucking Halo? Fire Team, Firescape, whatever it is, the Horde mode. It's like, I want that, but I want there to be more to it, like more dynamic objectives, more like things for us to do. I don't want to just sit here and just hunker down and kill things. That's fun, but I want reasons to go outside of our borders and have to like be dangerous and like get into situations and get into shenanigans. And like Helldivers 2 does all of that, and it makes me so happy that it's blowing up the way it is.
Thank God. You know what? If the previous game is bleakness, this is bliss.
Yes, and it's $40. That's the crazy part.
That actually is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's like Sony didn't really advertise, like they advertised in the state of play, but you know how you see a tweet from them all the time now, like that.
Yeah.
I don't think they realized that this would be something to invest that much power into, unfortunately.
No. Yeah.
I mean, clearly they give them the money to make the game, but
right. It's so good. Like, it's like me and Willer woke up 6 a.m. the day it released, just by like happenstance.
Kind of a funny story.
Yeah, like we were just like, we both woke up. It's like, oh, I'm up. I might as well just check out Helldivers 2. Log in. Oh, Willer's playing. Join into his game. Yeah, let's play like a mission or two. 2.5 hours later, I want to say, Willer.
Yeah.
We're sitting there like, oh my god, what the fuck is happening? And just going back to like the first time me and Willer ever played a game together, which was Monster Hunter World, and our first gaming session was us falling into Diablo's pit.
Ugh.
Like, which is just like sticks out in my mind to me. It's like, this is the point where me and Willer like really started to become friends. It's like, we get it.
You fight Diablos together and you fall into the pit for the first time in Monster Hunter World, and
you're just like,
something just clicks. There's magic in the air. It's
neither one.
But that emergent gameplay is what Monster Hunter does so well, and why I love Helldivers so much. Shit just goes wrong. Things happen, heroes are made. You watch Tyler fight off 100 bugs, and he's the only one alive, and he's like cycling through his guns and diving, like, revive me. That's
great. The thing. My best way to describe this game is like playing this game feels like you're playing a movie, both in the sense that it looks like a movie, but also in the sense that like the things that happen, like I feel like I want to clip every single game of this I play because I'm like, I don't want to forget what fucking happened.
Yeah. There's a clip online that is someone playing Helldivers, and if you took that out of context and you just showed that if you show that to somebody maybe even a year ago, someone probably go like, "Oh, that's probably a scripted gameplay moment," because you've got like this laser beam like coming down, like cutting through enemies while the guy's running, and this guy's dropping smoke, and he's like diving, and like the robots are walking over him because you can't see him because of the smoke. It's just crazy, like how like digestible this game is, and like it feels like you're in the battlefield. Like I think the three of us were playing, me, Willer, and Tyler, and we were yelling about what was going on. And Tyler's fiance was in the call with us, and she's like, "It sounds like y'all are in the front lines of Vietnam right now." And we're like,
we literally
yes.
were.
Yeah, you don't understand. Like we drop in and immediately start getting like. And every time you play, you feel like there's something new or something you didn't realize about the game that it just throws at you, especially as you go up in difficulty. Yeah. Like it's like they hold like the devs like hold enough back to trickle in this content as you move up, so like it never feels like it's going stale. Like me and Willer doing like level 4s and 5s, and we're like, let's bump it up to 6 fronts. We drop in, it's like, oh, this is the enemy we've been fighting since level 3. Turns out they got a whole new move that just fucked us.
And when multiple of those enemies are using that new move at the same time, you're like, this is a completely different video game right now.
Yeah. It's just, and we're not describing a lot of the game because I think it's just like everyone knows what it is at this point.
It's a up to 4 player game. You get dropped in missions. You can do the main objective or fuck around in the mission and get side objectives for better rewards. You fight a lot of bugs or robots, and they are oppressive. You need to use strategy. You need to coordinate with your team. You need to yell that you're gonna blow them up, and then you will proceed to blow them up with a friendly fire. It's great.
Mm-hmm. It's great.
Plenty of weapons, and most importantly, plenty of stratagems. That's the system that brings it all together, because you can really customize the kind of unit you are by what kind of things you summon into the battlefield.
Yeah, it's stressful too, because you have to put in like this Konami Code-esque like sequence to get them out.
I get stressed when I play this game for sure, but I love it.
Yeah. It's so good. And like we were playing, the 4 of us were playing, I don't think y'all realize this, but like I do like a more of like an airplane kind of build where like I'm running fighters and everything that come down, which is great because like you can use them multiple times, but in order to like rearm them, they all have to go on cooldown. So I brought to one of our missions 2 different planes. I brought the airstrike, which is just a bombing run, and I brought the smoke screen, which is like it makes a smoke screen to like cover your escapes. And we were running away from a fort, and the code from a bombing run is up, down, up, or no, it's up, right for the smoke screen bombardment. The regular airstrike is up, right, down, right. And I accidentally put in the opposite one at the key input and ended up blowing up me and Bradley as we were trying to run away.
Oh my god.
It was just like, yeah.
Your teammates will kill you, and you have to just take the L. It's funny. It's like, it's how the game operates.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you go into that, and that's the expectation. It's like, okay, a quarter of our deaths, at minimum, are going to be from us. That's why you get like 5 per. And like it's just a great time, and it's so hard to like be salty in a game where it's just constantly shenanigans, and everything has like ragdoll physics, so you blow up and you get flown across the map, and it's funny to look at.
I got hit with a funny ass bug the other day where I just get launched halfway across the map from a flamethrower.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Yeah. It's just it's peak gaming. Like I don't like it's hard as I don't know how else to describe
Tyler,
it.
you've been pretty quiet. What do you got to add? What do we miss?
Very fun. A little bit janky at launch.
Yeah.
But it's from success. That's why.
The servers are slammed. We can't play the game that we love.
Something that's interesting to me that I hope continues on. They have GM controls over the game.
Yeah, that part is so cool.
Which they're gonna be. I like the role-playing aspect of it a whole lot. I don't mind being chill. I like getting to go in, and you can be stealthy. You don't have to take on every fight. If you're playing in a full stack, you will take on every fight. That's just how it goes.
But you can also like utilize the stealth very well. Like we can send Tyler
stealth
around the back.
Really good, yeah.
Yeah.
Tyler I'm sensing some aggression here.
So I haven't been playing the past few days because I think I'm kind of upset right now. First of all, it just didn't work this weekend, and I'm playing Elden Ring, and I'm not mad at that.
Works out. Yeah,
fair.
I got to play Yakuza, no problems.
Same.
Yeah.
Same with me. I was just like, I'll play Yakuza Kiwami. We're all good.
It's I don't know right now.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Talk to you. Can open up, buddy. What's wrong? Come here. I'll stop killing stuff.
I don't want to fight for 40 minutes straight, man.
Look,
I don't want to be running for my life for 40 minutes straight.
If anyone's played with me, there's two lines I say constantly. One, where the fuck are the samples? That's a given.
Yes. Yep.
Line number two is don't fight, run, because you shouldn't fight for 40 minutes. You're just.
No.
I figured out that you're just supposed to throw shit behind you and pray and run. Don't take extended fights if you don't have to.
Yeah.
And once everyone's like on that page, you find that like yes, the scouts will find a group of 4 easier, and mistakes will happen, and you just start a fight easier. But it's not that bad to just throw 1 or 2 orbitals and run. Deal with them later.
One thing y'all started mentioning was kind of like your character class is defined by like which stratagems you take.
Yeah.
There's also armor, which I'm liking the aspect. So armor's broken right now. I hope they fix it soon.
Yeah.
Everybody has like the same strength.
Basically, tank build is not real yet.
Yeah. Which you know what, inadvertently might be making the game more fun. Because everybody's squishy, everybody's dying at the same rate. Might be making it more fun. Also, the weapons. There's a very clear meta right now, and it's any weapon that has an auto fire to it. That's a primary. Is just superior. The single shot weapons are pretty good, but like the burst weapons, burst feels really bad in the game right now. And I think it's because there's not enough bullets in the burst. They're very safe right now with like 2 to 3 round like bullets per burst. I think they should up those numbers to like 5 to 7.
A weapon balance patch would be appreciated.
Yeah. The game, they were very smart. They made progression so long in this game and padded it out so much that everybody can very easily ignore it because of how fun the game is to play.
Yeah. It's the kind of thing where like by the time you're done with progression, unless you're like going crazy ham, like Joe is very far ahead of us. He has
Joe has everything.
But he doesn't have every ship upgrade because that shit's hard. And by the time he gets there, there's going to be at least 1 or 2 updates of other things you have to get along the way. So... And
the other thing, too, is that like that progression isn't locked behind some like random chance either. It's like...
It's your performance.
I just have to put... It's like I have to go up to the higher levels and put in the work to get those samples that I need and like find a group or whatever. Yeah, I'm not stuck here like rolling boxes trying to get something. Yeah, it's just like I just have to play the game.
A difference of opinions came up when we were playing yesterday, where Tyler's like, I don't want to do the robot missions. I want to go up to 7 and get purple samples. And I'm like, but I want to roleplay the war that's going on, and I'll wait. Yeah. I'll get the purple samples later. So I guess that's 2 schools of mind. I want to push the main objectives because it might lead to more GM situations. That's what what I want to be there for.
Which we also didn't touch upon. Like, there's like a global community like campaign. There's no single player campaign. So it's like sick. Basically, like you come into the week and they're like, all right, your major order is to take over these planets, and the community has to work together to get this bar up to like push it forward. And that seems kind of really like, simple. Like, oh, okay, once we get these planets, we'll unlock more. Well, okay, so this event that's going on right now is we're being attacked by automatons, and like we had to defend these planets, and we lost a planet like pretty quickly, like as a community. But at the same time, we captured one of the automaton planets, and they sent out an announcement that said like, hey, because you were able to do this, you've cut off supplies for the Force, so they've ceased attack on this planet and have to redirect the attack to the planet you just took over. So defend that one instead.
Good GMing.
Cool. And I was just like, they made a new storyline based off like us, and it also plays along with the servers being borked, so we're losing more than we should. So they're like, fuck it, we'll course correct in another way.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, that one instance tells me you can do so much, and just like how the community itself can like drive this story, and like what you can potentially do or what else, because it could get to a point where there's like, oh, we took all those sectors over, well maybe the event just stops and they do something else entirely now, which I think is really cool.
And I will say, like, one thing that impresses me with this game is I feel like they kind of have like a big commitment to like making the world within the game feel like a living world where like, you know, if I join someone's lobby, I actually see my ship fly over to their fleet and join it, which, by the way, I also appreciate that they do that, but also it's extremely fucking fast to get in someone's lobby.
When it works super well.
Oh, also, the procedural level, they use procedural level design in this. It is very well implemented. Fucking
it's
good
crazy
stuff.
good. And like, you definitely go after the same layouts of like buildings and stuff, but like no map feels the same.
Yeah.
At least from what I've experienced.
They do a lot of elevation stuff, which is really cool.
Yes.
And then they can. It feels. I don't know. I would like to see their procedural generation code. Give us a GDC talk about their proc gen for their planets.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
Bradley, you were talking about the lived-in world. I think you had something else to say.
That and also, you know, that community campaign you were talking about. I just think, like, you know, you get an alert from Twitter, but it's like that's like an actual broadcast from Super Earth.
And they roleplay it. They roleplay it that way.
They sure do. It's so
the
cool.
patch notes and whatever, the notes are played out as like a commander. Another thing is you go to your store and there's fake reviews. The game has a great sense of humor.
Oh my god, it's so good.
The game is a satire on like super bureaucracy democracy. And apparently the more you dig into the lore, the more like those elements are apparent. But it's just a very funny game in both gameplay and how you get mutilated by your pals, but also just like everything surrounding it. The tips constantly make us like giggle. It's good stuff.
It's so
it also
funny.
feels badass. Like the loading screen is just so cool. Like,
what if, like, for the future of the game, they implemented like boss battle?
Yeah.
Where like you have to raid a bug nest and there's like a giant queen inside of it.
24, 64 something players against like a big
Tyler.
war.
I know, I want a giant lobby.
Yes, Joe?
Why are you spoiling Helldivers 1? Like...
Oh! Stop it! Enough of this convo. I don't want to know anymore.
I don't know about Helldivers 1. I'm just saying what they should do.
I'm very excited for the future's game. I really dove into like what Helldivers 1 was. Like,
Joe
really
reads the
learn about the
spoiler
game.
scans. We wait for the official.
No. But I do my research about the game previously. So I was like, what is this game about and like what they happen? I'm very excited for that third faction. I think Willer's gonna really vibe with that third faction.
Don't tell me nothing. I have no idea.
Oh, dude. The fact they're making more factions is gonna
Can't
be
even
crazy.
imagine what the faction
Also-
would be.
Yeah, me neither. And I'm excited.
That's the other thing too, is that there are two like enemy factions in the game, and they can play completely fucking different.
One's
That's
like
the other thing.
all melee and acid,
Yeah.
and the other is like fucking
War.
rockets that one-shot you.
Fucking rockets, by the way.
So speaking of like, so the company is like, they're like in an interview, they're like we're really inspired by like you know D&D and Starship Troopers and Games Workshop. I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. I want to show you all this image I'm posting in midcast chat. The thing on the left is the Hulkbuster from the game, and the thing on the right is the Redemptor Dreadnought from Warhammer
Now
40,000.
that's stealing, my boy.
Is it stealing? It doesn't have a claw hand.
No,
Exactly, and that's why it's stealing. They made it their own.
But the thing is, Willard,
Joe, you notice on top of the Hulkbuster, the little like flag post thing that they have? That's
hang
some
on.
Warhammer as fuck shit.
hold on.
He's gonna review. Actually, guys, I flipped the images and I tricked you.
Yeah, no. Let me. So that's the newer version of the Dreadnought, essentially. Let me bring up like an old version of the Dreadnought, because like, okay.
In the meantime, while you bring that up, I just want to quickly bring up that I like how the battle pass is handled in this game. It never ends. That is what I want from a battle pass.
That is cool.
Let me buy it and then do it on my own time, so I don't stress out about playing your game. Because if I stress out about it, I'm just gonna stop. So don't do that.
Yeah. So like here is. Oh, hold on. My computer is fucking with me. Here is like the old artwork, and I've seen this before. on models, but like here's an old artwork for an older Dreadnought. They have those fucking banners on the back of them.
Oh jeez, my ears.
Like and like hold on, and then let me type in Chaos Dreadnought, because there's the evil faction in 40K, and they have the spikes and skulls that the other Terminators have as well, or the other the other like automatons have, because like the automatons are really scary because they get like skulls and whatnot and like post them and like have them like as part of their base. But like the point being is that like both these factions are like they feel so different, and you feel like you have to take an actual different like strategy to approach fighting. Like the automaton like forces, like their factories that make them are really vulnerable to like airstrikes and orbital bombardments because they're just buildings. But the bug stuff is underground, so they're a little bit more like covered and don't really.
So you have to expose yourself a little bit, quite a bit more actually, to take out their encampments.
Yeah, dynamic and but yeah.
Joe's role playing the automatons right now for a sec. Give him a sec.
I'm back.
So yeah, those are, I think, our major thoughts on Helldivers. Like Bradley alluded to.
Yeah.
I don't want to show our hand, but this has to be collectively the game to beat this year.
It's pretty fucking fun.
Yeah.
It's more importantly, it's a game we all like, which is the kind of the criteria to be a front runner for Game of the Year. Now, I imagine 3 to 4 games I might personally like more, but we'll have to see if that's a fight I can win.
Yeah.
So my idea is, if we can remember this, we just place this as number 10. And when we get to top 10, it becomes like is it better than Helldivers, though? And then we just gauge everything versus Helldivers until it's either number 1 or whatever it is between that range.
That might be good.
Fun little gimmick. But then, the even better scenario is that somehow over 10 obviously better games come out this year than Helldivers. And we're like, well, shit.
Can you imagine?
I guess it's not even 10. That would be a blessed year because this game rules. So
Switch 2 launches with new Mario title, Game of the Year.
Oh,
Pokemon gets time to make their game.
Yeah, and of course, like I think the only overall problem we have with the game is there's just major server issues like right now.
And they just forgot to make some mechanics work at all, but that's a minor.
Yeah, armor rating thing is kind of crazy.
How the fuck does that happen?
I don't know. It must have been some like weird code, but like I think they're so focused on getting servers back up, which is definitely the priority.
Yeah.
That it falls to wayside. But like that's the thing. Like I've told y'all before, the peak concurrent player of Helldivers 1 was 7,000 people, and they probably thought like we'll get up to like 20 to 40,000 maybe if we're real good, and they're at 400,000
on Steam alone. On
Steam,
which they said it's 50-50, so that means that so many people trying to get into the game.
Yeah.
Hey, their next game is going to be off the chain.
Yeah,
in like a decade.
And they scrapped their roadmap. They're like, we've made so much money now that we can do way more than what this roadmap was originally.
Let's go!
That's so cool.
I love hearing that. That's so cool.
I think they were originally going to like do the third faction like later, or maybe like a closer to a mid-life cycle thing. But I think that's been moved up or moved around to like because like we've got so many people now, we can hire so
1 year anniversary. Let's go.
Yeah. Also, we're getting like mechs. Next major patch, apparently.
That's gonna make this game all go up even a whole tier for me because I'll get to roleplay 13 Sentinels.
Oh, let's go! I wanted to say that this game, is a combination of Earth Defense Force and Monster Hunter for me. And Tyler, I think, would get that reference because she's played both of them with me. It's got like the actual good design of Monster Hunter, but then just the nonsense goofiness of EDF, and it's perfect.